Okay, it is Wednesday, April 14th. I'm not sure the exact time. I think probably around 12:30, quarter to 1. Starting back on the trail. That's Uncle Johnny's, where I left the trail a few days ago. This is the river. I'm walking across the bridge. And then somewhere down here, I start up into the hills. Just doing 5 miles today. And to the first shelter. Hopefully I can beat the storm. It's supposed to start raining about 4 o'clock or so. So we'll see. But back on the trail, I feel great. I'm really energized. Feel good, feel confident. The only wild card is I have confidence in them are my new boots. So we'll see how those go today. That's one reason I'm doing a short day also, but also because we're getting started late. So, okay, off I go. All right, well, a couple miles in after 3 days off the trail, and I have to say, I feel good. My legs feel awesome. I'm sure that deep tissue massage yesterday contributed a lot to that. As much as it hurt, I'm sure I'll repeat it when I get home in May for Tasha's baby, or late May. Anyway, feel good, feel strong. Trail's pretty easy so far today. Boots feel good so far. I'm sure there'll be some spots when I get there tonight to the shelter that I'll want to tie them a little bit differently tomorrow. I'm assuming that'll happen. We'll see. Just want to prevent any blisters or chaffing. And it's just good to be back in the woods. So this body is ready to do it. And hopefully the trail stays this easy to the shelter, though I'm sure at some point I'm going to have a pretty good uphill. It just doesn't make sense that I wouldn't, knowing the trail as I do now. And when I got back to Uncle Johnny's, because that's where I left the trail on Saturday, and today's Thursday, the shuttle driver, Doug, who, by the way, does a great job anywhere around the Johnson City, Erwin area, and I'm sure well beyond. But he took me to an outfitter so I could get some bug repellent, a small container that an outfitter would have. And then he dropped me off at Subway so I could pick up a sandwich and have the last bit of protein and vegetables before I hit the trail. Then he took me to Uncle Johnny's, and I just sat, and they have a patio, a little picnic table, sat out there, ate my sandwich, and visited with some hikers. And found out that 2 of them had poison ivy. So I know it's out there. I'm just right now wearing a long sleeve shirt and pants to try to avoid it. All right, I forgot to report back. I thought I would now about Gail's birthday while I was by this beautiful little stream. This is the second one like this I've passed. It goes on up there. Very pretty. Makes you want to climb in, that's for sure. But it was quite the success. Gail's birthday. Here it is 15 minutes later. I'm still at the same creek. Just as I was talking about this, I got up to some guys that passed me, Roadkill, Spud, and Pie, and another guy. And I had talked to Roadkill, was talking about Wim Hof. He's from Australia, and just describing the breathing portion of the method and the benefits and the cold. And when I got to all 4 guys are down to their underwear, and they're coming and said, "Come on, get in the creek with us." So I got undressed and climbed in with them. It's a nice little pool right there that I was sitting in. Felt great. Then I laid down and got my shoulder covered. So all was awesome. Boy, that water's cold and felt great. That was a lot of fun. And I was just getting ready to say before all that started, there's my pack and stuff. I am now redressed with wet pants from my wet underwear, but that's all right. It'll dry quick. Gail's surprise birthday, everything was a success. I was talking to her on the phone, pretending I was still in Tennessee when I was walking in the house. And that was a total shock for her. That was on Sunday. And then, of course, we had the surprise Zoom call, birthday call yesterday evening with a bunch of family. And that was a blast, too. Joseph was at the house and he said, "Hey, Mom, I want you to take a look at this." And everybody was on Zoom. So we had a great hour-long visit. So Joseph was home and he bought dinner for everybody. And Tasha Got flowers for the house and for Gail's birthday, so it was an awesome coordinated event. Had a great time. But back on the trail today. All right, it's early. It was only about 4.5 miles. I thought it was more like 5.5 miles to the shelter, but I'm stopping anyway just to not push these new boots, break them in gently, and maybe tomorrow's gonna be a bigger day anyway. Well, I know it'll be bigger. Just not sure how much. I'm getting ready to study that. So I got my pad set up. My pack is hung, and I'll be staying there. I don't expect it would be a full shelter. I'm staying in the shelter for a couple reasons. Well, really one, potential for rain and thunderstorms, and there's no good campsites here. They're all on the downhill side of a slope. So if it rains heavy, then good chance your campsite's gonna get flooded out. So a little bit of water down there. It was hard to get more than a liter out of it at a time because you have to lay the bag down and it just wouldn't fill up. So there's plenty. I got enough for tonight and for cooking, and then I'll get a little bit more tonight to make sure I'm full for tomorrow. So anyway, just gonna relax and write in a journal. Unfortunately, there's no cell coverage here. This is the Curley something shelter, and see if anybody else comes along. I'd be surprised if they don't. The Curley Maple Gap Shelter, built in 2010. All right, so it's a nice shelter, and I'll hopefully get a good night's rest.